bartenders 20% or more. No trolling, no fighting in the comments and the chat. No starting arguments with me. I don't like that. This is my channel. Basically, we're here to talk Star Wars and sometimes other topics, depending on what's going on. So, as you can see by the thumbnail, a magazine I'd never heard of just posted that Kathleen Kennedy is on at Lucasfilm. And there's a woman named Agnes Cho that maybe, they're guessing, look, this is all a rumor. Okay, we don't know. And I'm not going to get people's hopes up. I don't want to. We've been burned before. It could be a fishing expedition. I'm not necessarily happy with the woman they decided to, a woman. I don't, look, unless the woman is me, I don't trust them, okay? We've seen what women do to Star Wars when they have an opportunity, and it ain't pretty, okay? Now, I could see Iger falling for the, if we have a woman do this, then we won't be in trouble with all of the wokesties and the feminists in Hollywood. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm not, let me go grab my phone, okay? And my jacket, because I'm cold. I'll be there in a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Shit. Ah. Okay, fuck it. Okay, the other phone is not in the thing. Hi, Mike, how you doing? So this lady named, I'm gonna say Agnes Cho, who was like running, hey Clone Trooper, who was, I think, one of the heads of Disney Plus, is the one that they wrote this article about. I'll do an upload later, just because I think I can actually do a better job, because I just read this, talked to Cameron, found out Jason Hunt at Sci-Fi For Me had just sent him the article. I don't want to get people's hopes up, all right? But the fact of the matter is, this is small, Star Wars Magazine is a small channel, a small subscription base on Twitter, on X. They have a blue check, just like I do, so they pay for their validation. They're validated. So there's that. But they only have like 300 subscribers, or I don't know how many followers. Again, I'd have to look. And I don't want to. I'll look later. Maybe if one of my wrenches jumps in, they can look and then tell us. Or if Mazers jumps in, he can tell me. He can tell us. I want you guys to understand that we're going to see a lot of this shit coming down the road from, like different venues. Doomcock will probably be all over this and then say, his people said this. And then the next day he'll say something, the opposite, which is like, so which is it? Is it this or is it this? You changed the story. Again, I think Star Wars fans deserve a lot more respect than they get. Well, James, I think you have a point. I think that uh, people are starting to feel like she's done, and maybe someone at Lucasfilm did reach out to these guys. They have a validated X account. They seem more professional than the usual fan page. Uh, and heck, maybe that's why they don't have very many followers. All right, because they're there for the story. They're not there to, they're not there for the clickbait. I want it to be true too. Um, but again, we've been burned so much that a little bit of caution on our part. Uh, I would just say, hey, let's just wait. Uh, we have to wait for Sparrow to jump in. I gotta do this just a second. I think my allergies are kicking in because, well, it's been so rainy. None of the fall stuff is flying around anymore. Well, I mean, hey, Running Man. Here's the deal. 2018, we didn't think she was going to get her contract renewed, and now what we know, it's like the reason why she got her contract renewed was because they wanted that they wanted the yeah, Agnes Chu. Thank you for that. Um, uh, they wanted we've look where was I? Okay, so 2018, she gets her contract renewed, and we discover later that it's automatically renewed if the movie that she made that year makes it to $1 billion. But the last movie she made that year lost 250 million dollars. So it's like, I have a question here. Why? And it's still, it was told to me by people the reason why she was renewed is so she could finish her stupid trilogy. Badly, I might add. The Rise of Palpatine was an absolute disgrace for any film franchise. Horrible. J.J. Abrams. I think both J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson should have to share a cell at some prison in California. San Quentin, where Johnny Cash or where Merle Haggard sat for so long. Because what they did was wrong. And then Leslie Headland can be in the next cell. She never should have gotten that contract renewed, but she did. And then in 2020, 2021, secretly, she got her contract renewed again, probably to finish Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And look, here's the deal: if your movie makes $1 billion, you're automatically renewed. It's like her movie probably was the worst loss in film history. Actually, I would be very, very surprised if Megalopolis doesn't defeat that. When you've got Francis Ford Coppola dropping $180 million on a movie that, I love him. If I was able to get past my I hate Adam Driver issues and I hate his guts, I would have gone to see it. But, maybe an actor that people aren't automatically vomiting over, Adam Driver, in the role of the hero, I would have gone to it, but I just, of course, Francis is allowed to have a few stinkers. It probably is a good movie. But I just can't look at Adam Driver with anything more than I see Raylo. I see Raylo porn. I see Raylo stalking him and wishing death on his kid and his wife. And Daisy's husband, I guess, or whatever he was. That's how crazy that whole thing was. And every time I look at him, I just, I get PTSD. So there's that. But needless to say, that Dial of Destiny did not make $1 billion. So they might just be saying, we're not renewing your contract over that. Now, I want to go back to the rumor about Agnes Chu. Before I do that, I'm going to address Cross. When we lived in California, when we moved, California's already feeling kind of weird. Dipshit Newsom, I think, was already governor. And I mean, basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't give a fuck, and he just went, So back to Agnes Chu. She wasn't, Maze, wasn't she the head of content for Disney Plus? Because if Agnes Chu was, she might not be a bad choice. However, I look at Jon Favreau and think Jon Favreau would be a better choice. Again, this is all rumor and speculation right now. We're going to see a lot of it heading into October. It's no good can come of, Maze is right. No good can come of speculating about her replacement. I mean, I would choose Favreau. I would choose, if it was a woman, I'd choose me. Because I'd be like, things are going to change. All right. That doesn't matter, Carlos. So did Kennedy. All right. Okay, I don't want her then. I don't want her at all. If she had anything to do with the Chinks, I don't want her. All right. Yeah, I said that. I don't like the Chi-Coms. I hate them. The fact that the Chinese people are so put down and beaten down, they can't remove their leadership is just appalling to me. And of course, threatening the legitimate government of China and Taiwan, there you go. No, I don't know, and that, no, ever. Never. Okay, so we've got this rumor, and it's the first direct rumor from a source outside of Doomcock, Geeks and Gamers, myself, etc., that I've ever seen. Okay, and it's probably true. It's going to make people like, the yoga teacher, the EU weirdo Ryan Cannell and the rest of them look stupid. You know, the ones that say she'll never leave. Tom Connors will look stupid, and he deserves it. You know, it's one of those things where I look at Andre and say, why do you keep him around? Anyway, hey, 007H. So we've got this. And, you know, look, let's go through the last year in history. So a year ago, last year, she goes to Star Wars Celebration and steals the stage from John and Dave with her fake movie, Rey movie. Okay. Then she shows up with the Acolyte at the same thing. They get a sizzle reel that no one could see for a good reason. She didn't do it. Iger told her to take your celebration and you know, take your celebration and your Viking funeral and go. And Kennedy basically told him to fuck off and then proceeded to do whatever she wanted. So then at the premiere at the Cannes Film Festival of Dial of Destiny, she's literally walks out of the theater to her Star Wars themed sequel trilogy Hotel is gone, will be closing, and Willow has been taken off of Disney Plus. Then she's humiliated at the premiere of Dial of Destiny at the Los Angeles premiere by Steven Spielberg. You guys saw the video. Okay. He literally is standing there thanking everyone but her and her husband Frank for their contributions to Indiana Jones. And he thanked Harrison Ford, George Lucas, who's standing there, and then the curtain opens up and the maestro, John Williams. Kennedy looks like she wants to die. She tries to use George as a crash helmet as she's slinking off the stage, and Frank looks pissed. So you got that. Then, after it opens on the 3rd of July, she goes to a meeting with Bob Iger and all of the people at on the 7th floor at Disney, and starts blaming him for all the failures. Doesn't take any of the blame for Indiana Jones herself. He loses his shit. He loses his shit, and thanks, Cross. He loses his shit, and that literally the day the movie opens to previews on Thursday, and this is before, I'm told these guys from Disney corporate showed up and started laying waste to everything and going through the server for emails. All right. And they're not nice to the people at Lucasfilm. And when asked about Kennedy's status, they said, you'll know when it's announced. And I look at that and go, okay, so she goes on campus for a meeting and then is gone. Then Leslie Headland is basically kicked off the campus. No parking space anymore, nothing. What she handed in to Jon Favreau to finish was so bad he called it the worst fan film he's ever seen. That he'd ever seen. You know, so I'm like, Okay, so, and that's last year. And then February, we heard that she had finally agreed to Iger's terms for her to leave. The last real public statement she made was at the Dodgers game in Los Angeles on Star Wars Day. And I got that video and I've used it. And she acted all excited in her phony way about Mando and Grogu filming, but I had to be reminded of the acolyte. Okay, I'm hip to that. I'm hip to that. Okay, so, and that really is the last we've seen of her publicly. I've speculated that she was with Frank the entire time they were filming Jurassic World 5. They were in Thailand, then Malta, then Elstree Studios in England. And I would suspect she was with them because was it the Britt brothers who put out there that she was talking about her contract to Iger and probably lawyers and the board of directors, and she was pissed off, and she was doing it remotely, which tells me there's a Zoom call somewhere, because she was not in LA, she wasn't in California. And really, when you look at the behavior of many people, like Pablo Hidalgo closed his public Twitter account, or X, but he still has his private X account, and barely says anything on Blue Skies. Nothing. The Lucasfilm mob, Kennedy's mob, is shut down. Okay. Why? And look, we can only know what we've been told through Sparrow, and a lot of stuff that goes on at a company like Lucasfilm is compartmentalized, and her taking responsibility for the Iger hit piece was probably, if she did it, and of course Sparrow told Cameron that, and I believe it, I believe she'd be that dumb, would have gotten her fired immediately. But there's just, I'm like, guys, a grain of salt, please. Okay, because we really don't know what's going on. We really don't have any hard evidence, and as I think the Witch King said to whomever was asking him what's going on with Kathy, you'll know about it when it's announced. And she did show up apparently to talk to the Witch King of Burbank, and then she left and has never been seen since. She's not on campus, which battling remotely for her contract makes a lot of sense. But again, we're going to see a lot of this stuff show up. I actually did send a DM to Star Wars Magazine because I want to know what their methods and sources were, because out of curiosity, if anything. The thing about it is that it rings true. Now the Agnes Chu thing, and Carlos is right there, and so's Mike. The Agnes Chu thing, I hope isn't true. I don't look. I don't mind a desk jockey taking the place of the president of Lucasfilm, because somebody that respects the creatives is important to me. I do mind that it's a woman who worked with the Chinese government, or the fake Chinese government, the neo-communist fascists that run China now. They're only as red as their corporatist capitalist society and system allows them to be. Okay, they have billionaires, all right, who own property, okay, and they, you know, they just make it so their rank and file humans can't. Okay, I don't want her. I don't want this woman around Lucasfilm. I don't want her around what Jon Favreau is trying to do. So I don't know. I would like a guy like Jon Favreau to take it over. You know, if he has his own company, Kennedy had her own company. Okay, Kennedy Marshall Company. It's still going strong. They have tons of stuff in development, including the vomiting has already begun. A documentary about Barbara Streisand. Ugh. Okay. Not interested. Not in the slight. Okay. The woman's a nutbag. Okay. But we'll just have to see. When I first saw the headline, I almost literally fell off the couch. And I was talking to Mazuris, because he's the one that sent me the link. And I called Cameron, and now we just sit and wait to see if it's true or not. I mean, that's all we can do. I'm not going to speculate that it is. I'm not running downstairs to get that bottle of champagne. I'm not on the phone yelling at Rudy, you need to put a bunch of money into my account so I can buy the celebratory dinner. You know, that's not how it works. You gotta have a solid case for it. So I know you guys are probably excited. We're gonna get a lot of false starts here before we get the official word. If you see Matt Bellany making noise about it, it's real. If you see Jeff Snyder making noise about it, it's real. That's all I can say. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for you. That's all I got. Okay, so you guys have a good afternoon. My voice is going. I uploaded a video about a study about that Lego made about girls' creativity, and they did it in like hand in hand with the Gina Davis Foundation, and she's crying about how much more creative girls are than boys. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. You know, I'm sorry, and it's not because for thousands of years women were put down. We've had 50 years of women basically being on the equal playing field with boys, and I ain't impressed. All right, I ain't impressed at all. You know, and you know, like today or yesterday, Orange Grove, and I love Orange Grove. They're great. It's a great channel. We're talking about Kennedy and talking about what a great producer she was. And I put this in the comment. I said, she's only as great as the men she worked for. And and I didn't say it that way, but there you go. And she worked for Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Robert Zemeckis, Clint Eastwood, Martin Scorsese, John Milius. I didn't add him, but she did. And these guys were the greatest filmmakers of the last, 60 years outside of Francis Ford Coppola. All right, and she didn't work with him. So I'm like, I can't and no. Yeah, Orange Grove 55. Yeah, they're good kids. They show up here every once in a while. And I love their station. They act like grown-ups. It's not like, Friday Night Tights, Circle Jerk, Echo Chamber. They're good people. Writer Brothers too. So anyway, so there you go. I again, my voice is giving out, so I gotta go. I want to lift some weights downstairs. I was gonna take the dog for a walk, but it's raining again. We went from just being stuck in this system of rain, cloudy, to what's left over from the hurricane. And I think tomorrow we'll get rain, the next day we'll get rain, and then Thursday it'll be sunny for the first time in almost 3 weeks. Ick. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. If you're a patron of Cameron's Patreon, he just posted a note basically saying the same thing I'm saying. Okay, it is gonna happen. She is leaving. She might leave tomorrow. We might get the official word. It might be Halloween. And if it isn't tomorrow, we're gonna get more shit like this. And you will probably see the usual suspects, Black Pill, saying no, it's not real. You will see others like Doomcock say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, not being able to make up his mind. You'll see Star Wars Explained in absolute fucking denial. Okay. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Stay the course. Just be patient. Okay. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you guys around the galaxy.